Hello and welcome to the Wendell Middle School Library. I'm the librarian here. As you can see, we have lots of seating space, beautiful stacks with lots of books. Our records, however, need some corrections, and we would love to have you be part of our bibliographic corrections program remotely. This video is going to show you how to do that.
Here we have the wendell.follettdestiny.com opening page. So you'll want to type into the Google search or into the address bar wendell.follettdestiny.com. Now, if your opening page doesn't look like this, there is a school district in California with a similar school district name. And so if you type a letter or a digit wrong in that address, it will bring up a different page. You're actually in one of the, I believe it's a Los Angeles school district. So be wary. It needs to look like this. You should see Wendell Elementary School, Wendell High School, and Wendell Middle School. If you don't get that, retype the URL. Try it again. Wendell Elementary School, Wendell High School, don't bother using those two links. We'll only be working in Wendell Middle School's library, and your password and username will not work in the other two libraries. So click on Wendell Middle School, and it will take you to this page. You'll want to go up here to the right-hand corner where you see white words on a blue background. It says log in, and once you log in using your username and password that were given to you by your instructor, then it should take you to the Destiny Quest page, which is not a particularly useful page for you. That's more for our students. So go ahead and go up to the right-hand corner where you see a little blue arrow, again a white word exit on a blue background. Click on that. I'm going to give you a quick tour of the various tabs in our website. The Home tab is a bunch of links that are associated with student assignments and our teachers, so you won't be using the Home tab. Catalog is where you'll be doing a lot of your work. It includes a bar of tabs, including the basic search. If you want to find a title, you type it into this search bar. We'll also use barcodes quite a bit. You will eventually need to be able to add a title. So those are the tabs you'll need: library search, add title. From library search, you'll want to use basic and barcode. Those are the ones you'll want the most. Under reports, I have created a couple of reports under Report Manager. It is possible for you to delete these, but I don't recommend it. If you do accidentally delete one, have your instructor get in touch with me and I'll recreate it. The first one is call numbers, the other one is shelf list, and these two reports will help you understand where we stand in terms of what has been corrected and what needs corrected. The call numbers are just there so you can see what kinds of mistakes we're dealing with, and I'll show you that in a moment. The back office button is mostly about inventory. It does show things under Job Manager that are helpful to our library, but probably not going to be useful to you.
Our students access our bibliographic records through these computers. By helping us correct the records, you will make it easier for students to find what they want, creating information that's useful both for teachers and students. I want to extend gratitude from myself and our staff here at Wendell Middle School. We really appreciate all the help we're going to get from this remote bibliographic record correction program. Thanks for being a part of it.
Let's go ahead and do a search. So you'll want to be under Catalog in the main menu, which is the white words on a blue background, left-hand side of your screen. Make sure that in the tabs you choose Basic, and you're going to find the title Marie Curie, M-A-R-I-E-C-U-R-I-E. Click on Title when you're done with that. You don't have to capitalize Marie Curie to find it. Once you've clicked on Title, notice the very top Marie Curie. It is a record that could use some help because it doesn't have an image. That tells me it probably doesn't have an ISBN. But we're going to skip over that one. And what tells me this one's in Spanish, the call number begins with the number 400. So you probably won't be dealing with our Spanish titles anyway. That should be a relief for those of you who don't feel confident, but it's not too hard to work with Spanish titles, you'll find later on. We're going to skip Marie Curie and the Science of Radioactivity and go to the bottom one, click on Marie Curie, A Photographic Story of a Life. And I'll have you toggle between this video that gives you a little information and the actual page. You'll be able to see the actual page a little better on your own. Here we have a record for the biography of Marie Curie. This is a well-designed record, and this is what we're shooting for. We can't always get them this detailed, but we sure try. So we have the title Marie Curie followed by the subtitle A Photographic Story of a Life. We have the author. We have the series title, a call number that uses the correct lettering. We have a location besides just Wendell Middle School Library. It says General Nonfiction. We have a nice description that doesn't include a bunch of opinions. You have to be careful you don't put opinions in description when you type one. Try to maintain some distance so that your description just states what's in the book and not your opinion of the book. In the Explore section, we see search tools. The publication information needs to include the Library of Congress control number and the International Standard Book numbers. If you have both the hardcover and the paperback ISBNs, that will almost always give you the cover art. So the ISBN and the LCCN numbers are associated with drawing this cover art from when you do an ad title in Follett Destiny. Additional information isn't essential, but it can be beneficial. Now, when we look at copies, it shows that we only have the one copy. It shows the call number, barcode, the status, meaning that it's available or checked out. The description is very helpful for students. It shows the accelerated reader level, 8.1, and that it's worth 4 points if they take an AR test on it. Accelerated Reader is used by our teachers and many teachers nationwide. It's super helpful to have this information for the students. It saves them time in finding a book in their reading level. Here we see again the location. Again, instead of just Wendell Middle School Library, WMSL, it's nice to be able to say that it's found in the fiction section, which is where most of your books will be found. So your call numbers will say capital F, lowercase I, lowercase c, followed by the first 3 letters of the author's last name, as in capital C, lowercase u, lowercase r. Ideally, we want the records to look similar in style. So I'm going to show you, this has been an example of a wonderful record. Now here's what a lot of our records do look like. At first glance, you're thinking, oh, this is the biography of George Washington, but you'll see that it's George Wahington. When we have a misspelled title like this, it's very difficult to find it using the basic search. So we would have to know it's spelled George Wahington, and that's why we need to fix these records. It doesn't have any of the information that the other did. It does have a call number, but you'll notice that the capital W has been turned to lowercase. The location, again, only says Wendell Middle School Library. We have no description, no art, and no publishing information. When we go to copies, we see that it is available, but we don't have any accelerated reader description on it, and the location isn't very helpful. It doesn't tell us what part of the library to find this book in. We are going to learn how to use the shelf list to locate erroneous records. So you need to go back to Reports, and under Reports, go to the Report Manager. Now first, let's look at the call numbers. It's the top job on the job list under Report Manager. You're going to hit the View button, and then the View Report. This shows the call numbers that we have, and you will see that there are a variety of call number errors. So I've actually got one of these that I kind of scrolled through so that I could see some to show you. Instead of writing just FIC TOL or FIC BAU, someone has put in the whole word fiction. And this makes it so that when you do your inventory, it's not going to be in alphabetical order in the right place. Also having a hyphen like we see in FIC-RIN. Or I'm not sure here if someone had misspelled fiction or if this is supposed to be two different parts of the call number, FIC-SUM. But that capital helps us to determine. So let's continue to use the same system for all of us who are doing the corrections. We want to have capital F, lowercase I, lowercase c, and then the capital for the first letter of the last name, and then the next two letters will be lowercase. An exception can be made for example, a name like McDowell. This should be capital F, lowercase I, lowercase c, then a space, capital M, lowercase c, capital D. So in those kinds of cases, we would want to make sure that we acknowledge the difference in that last name. Next, let's go ahead and take a look at our shelf list. This will act as a sort of checklist for you so that you know that you have tried your best to correct the records that were assigned to you by your instructor. So again, we're in Reports, we're under Report Manager, and we're going to view that shelf list that I have provided for you. The shelf list shows the call number, which is something we just looked at. The author, if one is provided, and you can see that some of our records do not have an author provided. The title, sometimes we will find these titles misspelled like we did with George Washington. The barcode should be accurate. Next to the barcode, we see the price status. I use Amazon. I try to keep it, somewhere between $5 and $20 within the price range of the student. If they're asking less than that on Amazon because it's a used book, that doesn't usually include the price of replacement. So I kind of think through that, and I use a round number. These ones that say like $13.09, even if that is the price on Amazon, I would put in either $13 or $14 because students rarely have change on them. It's harder to make change. And it also allows for a little bit of shipping cost for replacement. Notice the Cat Who Ate Danish Modern down here. We have a huge discrepancy in prices. One is $6, the other one $12.34, and that's one of the errors that I would like to fix, so that if it is the same title or even in the same series, The Cat Who, these should have a similar price for replacement price. The reason why is, let's say two students lose the same book or two books within the same series, and I charge one $25 and the other one $6. The discrepancy is noticed by parents. So we want to make sure that they have the same price value if they're in the same series, approximately the same, within a couple of dollars of each other. And like I said, ideally when you put that information in, just put zeros, don't put cents. It won't be particularly useful to you, but the far right column, Circs, has to do with circulations. It tells you how many times the book has been checked out since it was added to our collection. Let's say your instructor assigns you to correct all the titles by Avi. So you would start with the very first one here, Fic Avi. We can assume that's Avi, but we're not 100% sure. The title is The Book Without Words. You have a barcode, so you can type it into the search, and you have a price. So let's go ahead and go to our library search tool. Instead of basic, you might try the barcode instead. So you go to barcode, and you'll notice that this barcode and all of them start with a T. This one is T30688, and you type that into your search. T30688. It should bring up the record for that particular title, and there it is, Fic Avi. And you can look at the title details here. It's lacking a lot of information. It really is a book without words. The tools I use most to help me identify information about a library book include the Library of Congress online catalog. I can cross-reference my own titles with theirs. I do use a website called librarything.com, which is free. I recommend you get an account, and you will find it extremely helpful with this project. And I also use Amazon because some of our titles are available in Amazon, especially if we're talking about things that were, say, self-published or small publishing houses took them. So those can often be found on Amazon, even if they're out of print.